this is our fourth video. We're going to cover pillar 4 of our Speak and Succeed method, our AP Fluency formula. Now, there will be some of you who are taking a course with us and you're not taking the AP exam, or you don't plan on taking it soon. Maybe it's a future goal of yours. But this is an integral part of our system because we believe that this AP exam is an excellent way to, one, set a goal for your fluency, create a timeline, and then have something very concrete you're going to work towards. Also, we believe that the AP exam for Chinese is an excellent way to structure your studying because there are parts to the AP exam that we find just make learning a language meaningful and touch on every aspect. So, the various parts of the AP exam include an interpersonal speaking section where you only have about 20 seconds to respond to a series of 6 questions, right? And it's just going to create the feeling of being in a real conversation. There is a presentational speaking task where students have to deliver a 2-minute speech on a given topic. And so here you just need to draw on all your vocabulary, but being under a time constraint pushes your brain to not worry so much about is this right or wrong. And so that's why when we come back to that immersion loop where you're already thinking in the language, it becomes much easier. You're already halfway through the assignment. And then there's the reading and listening sections where students really have to be quick in processing what they hear or what they see and answering and being able to recognize the characters, the meaning, and grasp all of that at once. It's something you do in your native language without even thinking about it. And that's the level we want to get you to for the AP exam. And there's also a writing section. And so as we take students through our AP program, we will also work on writing and being able to say what you know how to say and say it clearly and effectively, even if you don't know all the words you would like to. So how do we do this? How do we train students to perform under pressure? Well, we got about 5 different steps here. One are real-time speaking drills, and this is just having these drills, having this experience where you're given a question, you're asked to respond, and then you just respond as quickly as you can. But knowing that you know what to say gives you that confidence and prevents you from getting stuck in your head. Right? You don't want to get stuck in your head on the AP exam. You don't want to be stuck in your head in a conversation. Right? You want to be able to respond to people. You want to be able to have that conversation in a real-time environment. We also use these response scaffolds, so students will learn sentence starters and transitions that work across multiple topics. This is very important. Mandarin Chinese is, on the one hand, a very loose, very creative language. There are layers upon layers upon layers of meaning that goes beyond literal or just base semantic meaning where culture plays a part, right? But it's also a very programmatic language. There are certain ways to say things, and the Chinese language typically will never deviate from those things. And so for those programmatic aspects of the language, that's where these response scaffolds come into play. Then we do rehearsed presentations, and so these are going to help you when you're doing the presentational speaking part of the AP exam. And this is also helpful because when you are using the language, let's say you're traveling in China and you're going to go check in at a hotel. Well, you know what time you're going to arrive at the hotel, and you know what you need to say in order to check in. Maybe someone at the hotel will speak English, but it's very possible that they won't. And so knowing the Mandarin to use there is going to help you get through that. And being able to think in a presentational mode, okay, when I get there, what am I going to say, is going to help you immensely, not only in the AP exam, but in real life. All right. Listening and reading speed training. So a lot of times this happens in standardized tests. Students, they stop and they wait before they can really grasp what they're reading or what they're listening to. You don't have time for that in the exam, and you really don't have time for that in a conversation. And then finally, self-recording and feedback. Extremely important to practice and record yourself, even though you don't want to, and even though you probably think your voice sounds so bad recorded, you're going to do it anyway, and you're going to send it to us, and we're going to give you feedback. And the feedback, I hope, is valuable and constructive. But the real value of this is hearing yourself, getting your Chinese voice, your Mandarin voice in your head is going to do wonders for your confidence. Okay, so these are the 4 pillars. This is the last video, so I hope these were helpful, informative. I hope you have a better understanding of our program. If you have any questions about anything I've covered here, feel free to contact me by email, seth@vista-tutoring.com. Find me on Facebook, or just send me a message. Look forward to hearing from you.